Episode 17, The Abyss Stares Back. The tunnel stretched endlessly before them, its walls narrowing with each step. The air was thick with dampness, and an unnatural silence hung over them. Every sound they made felt absorbed by the oppressive darkness surrounding them. "I swear, if this tunnel suddenly decides to collapse, I'm officially done with underground death traps," Jade muttered, rubbing her arms. "It won't collapse," Noah assured her. "Not yet, at least." Riley groaned. "Fantastic. Just the reassurance I needed." A low hum vibrated through the walls, followed by a distant, rhythmic thumping. It was faint but unmistakable, like the slow, deliberate beating of a giant heart. Sam stiffened. "Tell me that's not coming from ahead." Alex peered forward, tightening his grip on his dagger. "It is. And we don't have a choice but to keep moving." With cautious steps, they pressed on, the sound growing louder with each passing second. The tunnel finally opened into a vast underground chamber, lit only by the eerie glow of pulsating veins running along the cavern walls. In the center, a massive black pit yawned before them, its depths swirling with a dense, shifting mist. "This doesn't look promising," Riley said, inching away from the pit's edge. Noah knelt, examining the strange substance curling out of the abyss. "It's alive," he whispered. Before anyone could react, the mist surged upward, forming grotesque tendrils that lashed toward them. The group scattered just as the tendrils struck the ground where they had stood. "Run!" Alex shouted. They sprinted across the chamber, dodging the relentless attacks. The tendrils twisted and coiled, forming towering humanoid shapes with hollow, featureless faces. Their elongated fingers clawed at the air as they advanced. Jade pulled a small explosive from her belt. If there was ever a time for a big boom, now would be it. Sam finished, diving to the side as a tendril lashed past him. Jade hurled the explosive into the pit. A deafening blast rocked the chamber, sending waves of energy through the walls. The creatures shrieked, their forms shattering into mist as the ground trembled beneath them. "Move! Before this whole place caves in!" Alex yelled. They ran toward a narrow passage on the far side of the chamber, barely making it through as the ceiling began to collapse behind them. The moment they stumbled into the next tunnel, the entrance caved in, sealing them away from whatever horrors lurked in the abyss. Panting, Riley leaned against the wall. "Never again." Noah wiped the sweat from his brow. "Something tells me we're not done yet." Ahead, the tunnel sloped downward, leading them deeper into the unknown. End of episode 17. Episode 18, The Echoing Labyrinth. The corridor stretched endlessly before them, its walls shifting and breathing as if alive. A faint, rhythmic pulse echoed through the air, unsettling and hypnotic. "Tell me that's not the walls moving," Riley whispered, gripping Jade's arm. Jade swallowed hard. "I'd love to, but I'd be lying." Noah studied the engravings lining the passage. "These symbols, they're warnings. They say something about echoes consuming the unworthy." "Echoes?" Sam asked. "Like ghosts?" Before Noah could answer, Alex took a step forward, and the floor beneath them shuddered violently. A wall erupted behind them, cutting off their path. The sound of distant laughter, distorted and broken, filled the corridor. "Move! Now!" Alex commanded. They sprinted forward, but the walls pulsed and shifted, forming an ever-changing labyrinth. Every turn led them deeper into the unknown maze, and the air thickened with an unnatural weight. "We're being led somewhere," Noah muttered. "But by what?" A sudden whisper brushed against Jade's ear. She spun around, but no one was there. Instead, a distorted version of her voice spoke from the walls. "You shouldn't be here." Jade recoiled. "Okay, that was creepy." "It's trying to mess with us," Alex said, gripping his dagger tighter. "Stay focused." A fork appeared ahead. One path bathed in eerie blue light, the other swallowed in darkness. "Split up?" Riley suggested hesitantly. "No," Alex said firmly. "We stay together." We take the lighted path. They moved cautiously, but as they stepped into the blue-lit corridor, the walls trembled. Shadows poured from the cracks, forming twisted figures with hollow eyes and jagged smiles. "Run!" Sam shouted. They bolted, the echoing laughter growing louder. The corridor twisted, stretching impossibly, trapping them in a loop. Jade skidded to a stop. "We've been here before." "We need to break the cycle," Noah said, scanning the symbols. "It's a trick. We have to disrupt the pattern." "How?" Riley yelled, glancing at the advancing figures. Alex raised his dagger and slashed at the nearest wall. The blue light flickered, and the corridor trembled. The shadows shrieked, their forms distorting. "That's it!" Noah yelled. "We destroy the markings." They attacked the symbols, tearing through the engravings. The walls pulsed violently, the air rippling like water. With a deafening roar, the corridor shattered like glass, throwing them into a vast, open chamber. Dazed, they struggled to their feet. In the center of the room stood a massive door, covered in intricate carvings. At its base, an inscription read, "Beyond this door lies the truth. But the truth is never without sacrifice." Alex exhaled sharply. "Something tells me this is only the beginning." End of episode 18. Episode 19, The Trial of Truth. The massive door loomed before them, its carvings pulsating as if alive. A heavy silence filled the chamber, pressing against their ears like an unseen force. Alex ran his fingers over the inscription. "Beyond this door lies the truth. But the truth is never without sacrifice." He took a deep breath. "Anyone else got a bad feeling about this?" "I always have a bad feeling about things like this," Riley muttered. "Only one way to find out," Jade said, pushing against the heavy wood. The door groaned and swung open, revealing a dimly lit hallway stretching endlessly forward. The air inside felt ancient, laced with the scent of old parchment and something metallic, like blood. They stepped inside cautiously. As soon as the last of them crossed the threshold, the door slammed shut behind them with a deafening boom. "Of course," Sam sighed. "No turning back." Torches on the walls flared to life, illuminating a set of 5 stone pedestals, each engraved with a different symbol: a dagger, a key, an eye, a scale, and a flame. "Looks like another puzzle," Noah mused. "And I'm guessing we have to choose wisely." The ground rumbled, and a disembodied voice echoed through the corridor. "Only those who embrace their truth may proceed. Step forward and claim your trial." A gust of wind blew through the chamber, extinguishing all but a single torch. Alex squared his shoulders. "All right. Let's do this." He stepped toward the pedestal with the dagger, his breath steady but his hands clenched into fists. As soon as his fingers touched the stone, the room darkened, and the others vanished from his sight. He was alone. A whisper curled around him like smoke. "You wield the dagger, but do you understand its weight? To take a life, even in self-defense, leaves a scar. Are you prepared to bear it?" A shadowy figure stepped forward, a reflection of himself, but with empty, hollow eyes. The figure raised a dagger identical to Alex's, waiting for his response. Alex swallowed hard. He had fought before. He had defended his friends. But had he ever truly questioned the cost? The figure lunged. Outside the trial, the others watched in horror as Alex's body convulsed, eyes flickering as if lost in a vision. "What's happening to him?" Jade asked, voice tight with concern. "His trial has begun," Noah murmured. "And if he fails?" The torches dimmed further, and the air grew colder. They had no choice but to wait. End of episode 19.